Hey everybody, I'm Matt from the Creator Team and welcome to our weekly workshop. Today I want to show you how to design a login and sign up page as part of a series revolving around Ionic Auth. We have a new Ionic Auth add-on, and Ionic Auth is actually production ready now and is out of beta. So this series is going to be multiple videos. Okay, we're going to have one on just designing the login and sign up page, one on how to integrate with Auth, and then a couple different ones in the future regarding things like password reset forms and all sorts of other stuff. Now I want this series to actually continue on our beautiful side menu project. So we are going to take that project and we are going to duplicate it. Okay, and we are going to rename this as Mount Creator. And I have a brand new icon for that. So we're going to upload an app icon just to separate this out in our dashboard. We're going to use our app icon. Wait for that to upload. Wait for it to load here. There we go, and done. So now that we have our new Mount Creator project, okay, we are going to first just start designing our login and sign up pages. So we are going to add one of our login page templates. And we're going to do a couple different things to this page before we get started. The first thing we want to do is disable scrolling away from the page. Now I'm going to get into this a little bit more later, but scrolling is here and so we can vertically center content and not have it screw up on device. We're also going to hide the header. We're going to disable parenting so that this will never appear in our side menu. We're going to disable caching so that usernames and passwords that people have typed into this form will not remain once they leave the page. And we're also going to disable transition so that this login form can be accessed from anywhere within our app without any sort of transition. Now, obviously this is looking a little bland, so we want to set this up as our login form. So we are going to title this email instead of username, change to email. And overall, we can probably leave this as it is for right now, but we're going to work on the page a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to upload a background image to this page. Now, to make this look good, a lot of times I like, big, beautiful pictures that can scale for different device types. So as you can see, I have a rectangular large image here that we are going to upload. And it is going to center in the background with this nice looking mountain. Now, we also are going to want our app icon in here. So let's drag over an image and get that to the top of the form here. I just want to make sure it stays in that form element. Okay, so let's move it down. It didn't wind up staying in the form. Boom, there we go. So now I have that image in this form element, and that matters because we're going to center the whole form vertically in the page later. So we're going to upload an image here, choose a file, and do our white mountain image here. And obviously we don't want it this huge, so let's take that down to a 40% width right there. And then we can preview this here. And see our login page is looking a little nice. I like to add some transparency and vertically center this. So first of all, you know what, let's actually reduce the size of the spacer just to get this width and this width around the same distance here. And then I want to center this whole form. So let's take this form, and we're going to add a class called center form here. And open up our theming and SCSS. Now I've already got all this SCSS in here from our previous project, so we're just going to add to the bottom here. So I'm going to pull in some CSS I already wrote. Now you can find all the code I'm writing, all the CSS I'm writing during these tutorials at github.usecreator.com. So first, we're going to paste in some centerform CSS. As you can see, I'm giving it an absolute width, and then this is just some centering text. So this is going to make sure that it's centered horizontally and vertically at the same time. And then we're also going to change the label background colors, and we're going to have to add the top and bottom class inputs to give them a border radius to the different inputs we have, and set the button positive opacity to 0.9 here. So a couple different things are going on that we're going to update, and you're going to see changes along the way. First thing that you can see is that this is actually centered vertically within our page now. Okay, the second thing we're going to want to do is make sure that this button has the theme positive, and as you can see, it pulled in that nice transparency that we gave it in CSS, as well as these things having our transparency built in. Now this or create account button, I think we're going to leave that as, let's do light, and now we can preview that and see how our login page looks. Overall, this is looking pretty nice, but yet again, we don't have those rounded edges around this form. So we have to add, let's double check the class here. The class we used for those was top input and bottom input. So here, we can add the class top input. Here, we'll add the class bottom input. We're going to preview. And we should have nice 4-pixel rounded edges there. Now we're getting somewhere, but I want to add another element just for utility. So when we're logging in, when we're signing up, errors can occur. So we're going to want a little way to show errors. And I want to keep that at the top of the page up here. So here, just as a placeholder, we're putting the template tag error. That'll get populated later. Okay. And we are going to add the class error box to that. Go to our CSS and pull in some error box CSS that I wrote previously. So here we're just giving it some padding, setting it to assertive and a border of a little bit of a darker assertive color, giving it a border radius, adding some space at the bottom, and making sure that text stays white. So we're going to save that. And as you can see, we get that nice error text up there. And text will actually show up there. Right now it's just a template tag. So let's actually put an ngIf on there for error. And so that when we preview when there are no errors, it just disappears. All right, so our login page is starting to look really nice. Now we're going to use this same page to start off for our signup page. So we're just going to go to login here, duplicate the page, rename this to sign up. Okay, and here we will change this to sign up. Here we're going to do already have an account, ? We are going to link this back to our login page. Okay, and then we are going to make sure that they give us their name too. So what we're going to do is on this middle field, we will then remove top input so it doesn't have any rounded edges. And then on the top one, we're going to call that name and change that to text. This error we can leave here because there are still signup errors. So we're going to preview this. And that's looking good. If we click already have an account, we're going to go back to our signup page. And then we're going to want to link that the other direction too. So on our login on the or create account button, we're going to link that to the signup page. So now with no transitions or anything, we have a login page and a signup page that can easily be linked to from each other. They look really nice. So or create account, go straight to signup. Already have an account, go straight here. And it looks really seamless. Okay, it looks like we're almost staying at the same page, except the form is changing a little bit. So overall, that's our login and sign up page designs. In the next video, I'm going to go over how you can take these designs, integrate them with Ionic Auth, and have them fully functional, as well as pull in information about that user that we can then dynamically throw in to our side menu. We can make this a dynamic name and a dynamic image here. So that's all in the next video, guys. I will catch you in just a few minutes.